traveling with guns, getting into 3-gun, and being the bougiest gun nerd I know. It's Ryan Donahue with American Outdoor Brands right now. Hey, welcome in. This Gun Talk Nation is brought to you by CrossBreed Holsters, Timney Triggers, the world's finest triggers, Armscor, and Safariland. Today on the show, we have a guy who liked guns and shooting so much, he basically was like, F this job, and I'm going to figure out a way to get into the gun industry.
Yeah.
That's about right, Ryan?
That's about right.
Ryan Donahue with American Outdoor Brands / all the brands underneath there. No one knows who Iwb is.
Yeah, we don't tell people who Iwb is.
But Crimson Trace, Caldwell,
Wheeler, Tipton,
Wheeler,
Frankford, Bog,
Bubba Blade.
I mean, there's quite a few powerhouses under the umbrella.
Do we say lockdown? Ronell will get us in trouble if we don't.
Smith & Wesson M&P Performance Center accessories.
Yep. But this is a true story. So you just liked guns and shooting and just got into it.
Well, so going way back, you want to hear the whole
what's your origin story?
The origin story. I was bit by a spider, and instead of turning into Spider-Man, it said play with guns. I started out where I was doing a lot of competition, so a lot of 3-gun, which we have a fun story that you and I were talking about traveling with firearms for the first time. So I'll tell you that story later on. But, competition shooting and 3-gun and all this stuff. I was a person who, you started out and, parents weren't huge into hunting, huge into shooting, but it was always there. We would go shotgun shooting, we'd go shoot clays, we'd go hunting every once in a while. So it wasn't like a diehard, family into firearms, but I, for some reason, maybe playing with all G.I. Joes as a kid, loved firearms.
Yeah.
Right? So, got my first pistol, right? And was like, this is so
I have a question. Cool. Since you didn't grow up in it and you get your first pistol as an adult.
Yep.
Was it something crappy? Was it like one of those first guns that you regretted?
Do you want me to tell you what it was?
Yeah.
It's the only, was
it a gun you regretted? Like that was dumb.
It's the only, I've only sold 2 guns in my entire life. And I mean, I have a problem. I have a lot of guns, but believe it or not, the first pistol that I ever owned, I sold.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have it anymore.
Oh my
gosh. But it's because of a manufacturer defect in the pistol that it kept on going back and they kept on getting worse. So I was like, okay, I'm done with this thing.
What was the first gun you bought?
You want to know what it is?
Yeah.
It's made by a very awesome company.
I mean, this is my thing with gun stuff. Be like, oh, it broke. Well, they are mechanical devices.
100%.
It's possible for stuff to break.
100%. So first pistol was a Beretta.
Okay.
It was the PX4 Storm.
Okay.
So got it. Super excited. Remember the rotating barrel, whatever, all that whole thing that it was doing, and took it to the range. First couple shots, great, right? Pretty good group. And then as I was shooting it more and more, the group would be like shooting at the paper and it's spreading out. Like,
you're getting like an 18-inch group.
What the heck is going on here? And I grew up, my family, half of them on my father's side were all police officers. So state troopers, different stuff like that. So I went to the range with my uncle. He's, pretty high level state trooper. And I'm like, hey, you shoot this gun and, see what's going on here. And he shoots it and his group is crazy huge. Right. And I've seen my uncle shoot all my life and
he's a very good shooter.
Right,
yeah.
He's a good shot. So he's like, what's going on? Take this thing apart. Can't figure it out. Right. All right. Maybe, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. So go back home, come to the range another time. Had another buddy who was a special forces guy. And I'm like, hey dude, shoot this gun, shoot it. Tell me what we got. And he takes, first shot, drills it, figures out what it is. Second shot, like flyer off the paper.
That's not correct. Yeah.
And he's like, first thing he does, unloads the gun, everything's safe. He takes his finger and he goes up front and touches the front sight. And sure enough, the front sight is
It's wobbly.
Walking back and forth. So
might be a little hard to be accurate.
When they made those guns, the way, if you've ever seen one before, the front of it, they cut out a channel and then run the dovetail
like a dovetail.
Yeah. So I guess they had cut the channel a little bit too wide on my gun, and the front sight was walking all over the place.
It was a self-adjustable front sight.
Yes. So
it decided where you needed to be aiming.
So story goes, which I have to send out an apology because maybe somebody on this this podcast is actually listening to it. So story goes, sent it back to Beretta. They decided in their ultimate wisdom, instead of giving me a new slide, to stake it down, send it back.
Super glue. Shot
it for, a couple hundred rounds, came undone again.
I probably would just super glued it myself.
No, because it's if you look at it, I mean, people who have a PX4 Storm know, if you take the slide off and look from underneath, the channel goes through and you can see the underside of the side.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really to super glue it to. So sent it back for a second time. They fixed it again, but I was just like, okay, I'm not going to shoot this. I'm done.
I'm not really excited anymore.
Yeah, I brought it to the gun shop and sold it. So sorry to anybody out there who has my PX4 Storm that had the same problem.
Maybe they were a hobbyist gunsmith. Maybe they figured it out.
They figured it out. They fixed it.
You sold it to the gun shop?
Sold it to the gun shop, yeah.
I did that with a car once that just kept breaking. I was like, I can't bring myself to sell this to some individual.
Right. Yeah.
But a dealer, that's their problem.
Sold it to the gun shop. I figured that was the most responsible thing to do, right? Because if I sold it to somebody, my head was, man, if I sell this to somebody and they need to use it in a defensive situation, and
I want it to work for them.
There's bullets flying all over the place.
Gun shop should make it work right. All right. So
from there, acquired, pistol, rifle, shotgun, right?
Yeah.
Like normal people, going to the range, shooting paper, doing fun stuff. And you're like, man, I got all this cool stuff. There's got to be something else I can do, right? So go on YouTube and discover this was, the sport of 3-gun. And I just fell really hard into the rabbit hole.
3-gun really is, it's hard to explain unless you've done it. You go, normally you're not allowed to do this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Or it's just not able to do this stuff.
Yeah, you're going to let me run around like I'm going to go
all
shoot,
the courses
kick
of
down
fire.
Doors.
Yes.
What?
So fun.
Oh my God. So I was, I think your dad had a comment last night at dinner that we're all people who took one thing in our life way too seriously, like way too far.
Yes.
So I took 3-gun way too far. Like it got to the point where I was, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'd go for a 2-mile run because I figured in my head, my ultimate wisdom, right, back in the day, that if I can't beat you on the pistol, I'm going to beat you to the box because you have to move in 3-gun, right? I'm going to make up some time. I'm going to, maybe you shoot 2 shots at that target and you hit it and I have to shoot 3 or 4, but I'm going to beat you from one box to the next. And that's how I'm going to make up my time. So that was what was in my head, so every morning, get up, run about 2 miles, come back to the garage, and then practice reloading, the most evil thing in 3-gun, which is loading that shotgun.
The shotgun loads. So yeah, we were talking about that, and I was talking with Lena.
Yep.
About this.
I actually learned to reload from Lena.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
From a video?
So
she did?
Watched her on the video and then wound up meeting her later on in life and then doing reloads with her.
That's her not so secret is that she's really good at shotgun.
Oh my God.
And reloading and running it.
Yep.
And that's kind of the area for 3-gun where a lot of people are like, this is tricky.
Because, you can lose a ton of time or make up a ton of time with that shotgun.
3-gun is one of those, it's fun, but it's just involved. And it's like the gear is involved, the stages are involved, the setting it all up stuff. But you ended up saying, I like it so much, I'm going to leave my job.
Yeah, my day job. My day job was pretty cool.
It wasn't firearms industry.
No, it was pretty cool. So I worked on movies. So I ran a production house and we worked on, everything from Iron Man to Casino Royale to Django, different stuff like that.
But you actively, it wasn't like, because a lot of people in the gun industry, it's like, oh, I don't know, I applied for this job, but you were like, okay, how can I work in this industry?
Yeah. Right? So I already kind of knew a few people in there because we had done different things with them with movie stuff. But I was like, man, I love, so 3-gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would try and do, any of the local matches I would do, and then go to the big ones, the 3-man 3-gun competition in Texas, all the big ones I would try and go to, because it was just an addiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this over and over and over again. And when you think about 3-gun, I mean, all the people that are listening, if you've never shot it, think about, and I was in Florida, right? So think about getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, driving to a location, sweating from 6 o'clock in the morning till, I don't know, you probably go home around 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start driving home, sweating for that entire amount of time to shoot for a total of maybe, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Technically.
Right?
Yeah. You're not shooting the whole time, right?
Yeah. No, you're, pasting and
you're hanging out with other gun people, which
watching.
Is also, people love that. I mean, you go, wow, because and I think that's one of the things with like the Gun Talk podcast and stuff over the years. Now we have better ways to kind of connect with people around the country, but it's like, well, I'm into this. Oh, wait, there's other people who are into this and like-minded and all that, which is great. Part of it is hanging out at the match.
Yeah, absolutely. So went from going to the matches to like, you know what? I like what I'm doing, but if I can do what I really love, right, which is work in firearms, because I'm like you, I'm kind of a gear junkie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So any of the new stuff that comes out.
He's not kind of a gear junkie. He is a bougie gun whore is an appropriate description of Ryan.
I'll take that. I'll take it. So try and keep up with, all the new trends, all the new stuff that's coming out, and watch all that because I love it. So went from that to, you know what, if I can really do what I love, it's not going to be like working at all. So applied to a ton of different places, went on a ton of different interviews, and wound up choosing AOB mostly because of the people, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm on a trip right now, we're at Gun Talk, and I think that if you choose the firearms people I have never met anybody in the firearms industry where I'm like, this is not a good person. Everybody is like salt of the earth, would bend over backwards for you, just really good people. But I found that the people at American Outdoor Brands it was more than that. It was like a family. Yeah,
you guys have a good group.
Yeah.
It's a good dynamic, a good culture there.
We have some great people on the team. The brand managers are awesome. The marketing coordinator, the executive team, everybody is just, it's an awesome company to work for.
Hey, Gun Talk Nation is brought to you by Timney Triggers. Timney Triggers is celebrating their 75th anniversary this year with the introduction of the Alpha Competition Series handgun trigger, the first for a company. They've never made a handgun trigger before. This one is designed for Glocks. Glocks Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5 models, and it's easy to install, features a crisp trigger break designed to keep you on target. Check them out. TimneyTriggers.com. Also, Safariland, their 575 Iwb holster designed to fit multiple firearms in one holster. It's available for slim fits like the Glocks, Springfields, SIGs, M&Ps, and it's optics capable, fully adjustable cant, and it has a grip lock system for security. Visit Safariland.com to find your new holster today. Also, Armscor Rock Island Armory. The newest addition is the STK-100. This is their first striker-fired pistol. Now, what you got to know is they come from a heritage of 1911s, so there was a lot of thought into the grip and feel and shootability of this gun. This is actually a solid aluminum frame, and it's kind of a solid aluminum frame, gives the advantages of a metal pistol for the price of a polymer, and it features an optics-ready slide and extended beaver tail. Find out more at armscor.com. Also, CrossBreed Holsters. You guys know CrossBreed. They've been around for a long time, and they're really a full line of holsters, whether that's the Super Tuck, the Mini Tuck, the Reckoning, the Snap Slide. They have belly bands. They also have gun belts, like belts, to hold everything in place. That's actually really important. Don't underestimate that. inside the waistband, outside the waistband, in a bag, or across your chest. Find one today at CrossBreedHolsters.com. You said you had some stories about traveling with guns, which are always fun.
Yeah. So picture Ryan, gosh, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years ago while he's running, every day, 3 miles, 2 miles, getting ready for 3 guns. So first major match going to Texas. Okay. So I had a giant Pelican case, and obviously it was a Pelican, right? Because I'm not going to buy something else.
It's the most bougie rifle case you can buy.
Yep, Pelican case with I built. So when you buy your first Pelican case, which this was my first one, I wanted it to be completely custom, right? Because I want to fit
getting
my
the foam and cutting the foam out and that.
Well, I went on YouTube. Right. And I remember researching this. I went on YouTube and started watching the videos, and there's some guys that are, doing it with a Sharpie knife. And then there's other guys that are taking, their electric fillet knife and drawing with chalk and trying to cut this thing out. And I was like, man. And then there was one guy that I watched that went way too far. Right. And his thing was he got I think a hot iron. I can't remember exactly what it was. And he rigged up a coat hanger to it, and he showed you exactly how to do it. And he literally just, he drew the thing out with chalk, and then he took this heated up coat hanger, and it just, fried right through the stuff. So like,
sidebar along those lines, I may have shot a guy's suppressor a lot.
Okay.
And then set it down on his custom foam Pelican case.
It burned a place for the suppressor.
It custom fit this suppressor right into that at a weird 45-degree angle inside there.
Why did
and
you
then you have then you have melted sticky foam
all over the
silencer.
suppressor. Yeah.
And I was like,
that's not
sorry, bro.
Sorry.
Oh, those get hot.
Yeah. So built this Pelican case, so it's custom now for my guns, and I'm like knee deep in 3 guns. So a 2011, right? A crazy custom
double
rifle,
stack 1911, 9mm,
1911. Crazy custom rifle with like a gold bolt carrier group.
Of course, you did.
Just over the top.
He's fancy. I'm surprised the Pelican case wasn't bejeweled.
Yeah, nope. It was. I was worried about putting anything on the Pelican case as sticker wise, because I was worried about traveling with guns and that people were going to see my stuff and it would be gone, or they would know.
What you do is Pelican case. You put stuff like Yamaha.
There you go.
Put a picture of a keyboard on it.
There you go.
I've had that. I've had like guys at the airport. Is that a keyboard? And I'm like,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I shred on this thing.
Yeah, I'm a keyboard player. I play the guitar.
So
this thing is smoking.
So really, over prepared. Read like every rule of everything about traveling on an airplane with firearms.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Go march up there, and I was not prepared for what happened to me.
What happened?
Very first time, so a little nervous going up there, and you now we've done it so many times that it's just secondhand. But go up there and, hi, ma'am, I'm traveling with firearms. Okay, sir. Is it that big case right there? Yeah. How many guns do you have in there? 3. It's my pistol, rifle, shotgun. I'm going to a 3-gun match in Texas. Do you know what 3-gun is? She's like,
Have you accepted Lord Savior Jesus Christ into your life? Can I tell you about 3-gun?
So, I don't know if she was new or she just didn't like guns at all, but you could tell right away when I said that I was traveling with firearms, she was kind of disgusted.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. Some people are like, neat. Some people are like, I don't care. And some people are like, ew.
So she was like, airline policy, I need to see all the guns and inspect that they're unloaded.
She's going to inspect that they're unloaded.
She was, yes. So I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. So take my locks off of the case. And she was like, are those TSA locks? And I was like, no, I read online that I could use combination locks, because I don't have to use the TSA ones because these are my guns and I'm responsible for them.
You're not actually supposed to use TSA locks on gun cases. Yeah.
Yes. So had my combination locks, opened them up, and she said, "You're going to have to provide me with the combination." And I said, "No, I don't think I have to do that." So wound up opening up the case.
This is always a fun moment when you're trying to explain their rules to them.
Yeah. So open up the case, and she said, "Are all the guns unloaded?" I said, "Yeah, 100% unloaded." Open up the case, and I'm trying not to open it up because there's, I don't know,
people standing behind you. Yeah.
Big
you're
case.
like, oh boy.
So kind of like just open it up, and I'm like, "Ma'am, I have all the flags in the guns. You'll see all the flags. So obviously they can't be loaded." So I kind of like open it up. She came out from around the counter.
Oh, wow.
So she said, no, I need to physically see that they're unloaded. And I said, "Okay, I don't know what that means. Like, do you want me to take a gun out?" And she was like, "Yeah, you have to show me that they're unloaded." So
I want you to take this gun out and start waving it around the airport.
Well, no, so it gets worse.
And then I want you to pull the trigger and I want to hear it click.
It gets worse. So first gun I go for.
Look, they don't know anything about this. Like you said, there's flags in the chamber. There can't be anything in there.
And I don't know any better because I've never traveled with it before.
Yeah, I'll have a broken down gun.
Right.
Like you could have an upper and a lower.
Yeah. Or
you could have like a side-by-side shotgun broken in half. And they go, "Is it loaded?" You're like, "It's not assembled."
So that's what happened with the AR, which is the last one, which I'll tell you about. So first gun I go for is the pistol, right? So I'm sure everybody on that's listening to this podcast is like screaming at me right now, like, "You should have told her you didn't have to do any of that." But I've read the
it's
policy.
a balance. You're like, do I want to fly today?
Yeah. Do I really want to get into a fight with this lady after I've spent a bunch of money trying to go to this match?
Sure.
And do all this stuff. So, take out the pistol and try and keep, muzzle down. Like I don't want to take it out of the case. So it's kind of just like picking it up out of the foam, lock it back, take the flag out. "See, ma'am, it's unloaded." Okay, fine. Put that one back in the case. Now, my shotgun, this is the really long Pelican case, right?
Yeah.
Because my shotgun, of course, I have to have.
Extendo tube.
Yep. So it was my shotgun I run is 14+1. So extendo tube inside of this thing.
The broom handle on the bottom of the barrel.
It is.
Yeah.
So kind of, lift the shotgun up, and it's bright blue. So lift the shotgun up, lock it back. Now everybody's looking at me, right? And at this point. So lock it back, show her, take the flag out. "See, it's unloaded." She was like, "Okay, now the big one." So I was like, "But ma'am, the AR it's in half, so I have the lower separated from the upper." And I said, there's clearly no rounds in it. The bolt carrier group is not even, and she doesn't know what this is. What a bolt carrier group is and whatever. So she goes, "No, you have to do the same thing. You have to, lock it back and show me that it's unloaded." So, in my head, I'm stopping for a minute.
So do I assemble the rifle?
That's exactly what I did. So I was like,
did you really seriously?
So I was like, I guess we're going all in here. So, I'm just going to go for it. So, now got a little brazen, took the lower out, lock it, put the stock back at full position, pop out the pins, slap this sucker together, throw the bolt carrier group in there, and just do one of the loudest probably rack that anybody has ever done ever.
You're not that anyone should do this, but Ryan Gresham is a smart ass. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You almost want to load the gun to show her unloading the gun. You're like, "Well, let me show you here. Mag in, run the bolt. Yep. See, now it's loaded. Now I'm going to unload it. See how one came out?"
No, it didn't. No ammo in the case, no mags in the case, but, lock the bolt back, show her that it's unloaded. And I had an AR-15 out of its case.
Yeah.
Inside of the airport, showing this lady with my bright gold bolt carrier group, right? Showing her that it was unloaded.
and the whole time you're going, it'd be better if we just don't even take the guns out. And I find it's changed over the years. Yeah. When I was flying with guns, when I started traveling with guns more often, which was probably 12, 13, 14 years ago, there was more of that.
Yeah.
And now I find that it's almost swung so much the other way where they're like,
We don't even want to see them.
They don't even like. I'll if it's just a handgun, I have it like a little gun vault box or whatever. They don't even make me open it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm waiting for them, but they go, okay, they just
slip this inside.
Put your little tag on
I'll
top.
Just open up the locks and kind of slip that little piece of paper inside and you're good to go.
They don't want to touch it. That's the better way to handle it. I mean,
awesome.
Because you're like, seriously, you want me to pull this gun out?
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought that, I mean, maybe it was for a while that was the policy of the air. I don't think so, but.
And I think one of the things that's happened is when the guns were in fact loaded.
Yeah.
And guns have gone off, been shot, and people have been shot in airports because they're like, take it out. Show me it's unloaded.
Yeah, right.
And the guy goes, see, it's right here. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't unloaded.
So now they're like, you just leave that
You
there.
handle your stuff, right?
Yeah. Don't take it out.
Which I like that policy better. So Ryan's first traveling with guns.
Traveling with guns. Another chapter in the traveling with guns anecdote file.
It was an experience. I'll never forget it. It was very traumatic, but I mean,
I've had everything, dude. I've had it all.
Yeah. I mean, I've had it all too, especially, it helps a little bit when you play the, I work for a firearms company or I work for, or, we put our business card on top of the case or whatever it is. Then they're like, okay, this is a person who works in the industry. These are his tools. He's traveling with them.
And also another thing you can do is print out their regs. And I know one guy that actually has them taped on the inside of the top part of the case. Like here's the TSA regs.
Yeah.
Here's the Delta regs, American, United, Southwest, because they all have their own specific little nuances.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is what you say it's supposed to be. Well, at this airport, we have a different policy.
Right. And what do you say to that? Like, okay.
Yeah.
What would you like me to do?
You push back a little bit,
right?
But then you kind of feel like I've had people who are like, do you want to fly today?
Yeah.
I'm like,
yes, I do.
I do want to fly today.
Tell me what it is that you'd like me to do.
Then you had your guns. You had some guns stolen in South America.
I did. That was I do have.
You got to tell what. So guns are stolen.
Yep.
Flying back from a hunt.
Where were we? I was with you.
We're in Argentina. Yep, flying back from a hunt.
Where were we traveling through? Was it Peru?
Santiago, Chile.
Chile. Yeah, that's right. So, coming back from the hunt with the shotguns in the Pelican cases, custom foam.
Of course.
So coming back from the hunt, and we traveled through Santiago and we were going from there to Santiago to California, right? Because I was living in Oregon at the time. So into California and then California to Oregon. So lots of planes, lots of changing them to get.
But my favorite part of this story, guns, I'll fast forward a little bit. Guns didn't show up.
Yep.
You're like, okay. And the people in LA are like, oh, they went through Santiago? Yeah, you're not getting those back.
You're not getting those back.
So, but then you call the ATF, and what did they say?
I called the ATF, told them who I was, told them, worked in the industry. This is who I am. Was on a business trip, traveling back with the guns, and what do I do? They're gone. Here's the serial numbers, and the agent said, "I have a few questions to ask." Okay, were you traveling with any suppressors? No. Were any of the guns, machine guns? Did you have any full auto guns? No. Okay. Well, where did they go missing? Oh, Santiago. All right, they're gone. So we got the serial numbers. You're good. Like, I don't have to do anything else.
Have a nice day. Okay. Seems okay. Well, granted, these were semi-automatic hunting shotguns.
Yes.
Probably Al-Qaeda is not taking over the world with them or anything.
And, the only thing that made me feel good about this whole story, because nobody wants to get anything stolen from them, right? But the only thing that I felt good about with this whole story was the people that stole them, right? If you remember, Ryan, the lodge that we were in, the man who ran the lodge needed all of he said, would you mind?
The butt plates.
Yes, he wanted all the butt plates from the shotguns.
Fit his shotguns, and they're hard to get.
They're very hard to get in. So we were like, sure, keep the butt plates. We'll get new ones when we get back to the United States. So the only joy that I have is that the people that stole them, probably didn't realize, that it was missing a butt plate and went to go and shoot them for the very first time with no butt plate, because it's it was open back, hopefully. And it was just really unpleasant.
Did you tell the guys at Weatherby, like, hey, if you get a call or an email that they want to buy 2 or 3 extra butt plates and send them to Chile,
get that address?
Yeah.
So you gotta hope that they didn't even realize, and to this day they're still running the shotgun without the butt plate.
And they're like, I hate this gun.
This gun is awful. Every time I shoot it, it hurts.
And then he's going to take it to a dealer and sell it because he can't bear to sell it to someone.
That's right.
Directly. That's right. Have them inflict pain on themselves.
Yep.
Thanks for being with us, man.
Thanks,
buddy. This is fun.
It was an interesting podcast.
Yeah. And if you guys need any advice of, I don't know, gold plating your bolt carrier group or customizing the fanciest Pelican case ever,
or shameless plug, lockdown. So now I've gotten to the point.
That's right.
I've gotten to the point now where gun safes are just not okay. Right?
Next level.
We got to build a room. We need a gun room. Okay. So, sweetheart, I love you. We're going to build a gun room now in this space. So, lockdown coming, the vault doors, and some really cool vault walls. Sneak peek coming at you soon.
Get your John Wick room.
Oh
ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite awesome. So hanging up all those guns on the wall and getting ready for that.
I'll chime in on the lockdown stuff. Also, one of the things that's just a quick, easy thing that'll make your life better are all the lights. Lights in your safe, light in if it's a little gun closet or whatever it is. That's just so helpful.
Okay, we got to go down this road real quick.
All right.
Can we do this real quick? Okay. So, really cool product coming out. So, we have the Puck. So the Puck won Guns and Ammo and also the NRA Product of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are not familiar with the Puck, it's this little puck that you can put basically anywhere in your house. It does temperature, humidity. It really shines inside of a gun safe.
Yeah.
But you can also use it inside of something like a vault room. So right now my vault room is framed out, so it's not really a vault room right now. It's just a framed room. But you can take the Puck in there, and the Puck has logic, right? So a logic system that's built into it. And one of the things that Puck, one of our things that we talk about in the office is we are the only tech company that loves your firearms as much as you do. Right?
Yeah.
Because think of another tech company that actually loves guns, because I can't think of one. So you have your Puck inside of this safe or inside of this room. You run the Puck, you open up the door because it's got an accelerometer in it, so it knows when things are open or when things are not. And we are coming out with, I have the fortune, to be able to play with the products before they're released. We're coming out with this thing called the plug. So you plug the plug into a wall, and you can tell it anytime you detect motion, anytime this is opened, trigger this, plug. So I have it where you open up the room and then all the lights in my room come on. So I mean,
Mr. Fancy Gun Guy.
Fancy.
Yes.
Fancy.
This is what we need. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's next level for you guys. Check out the lockdown stuff. It is very cool. Yeah, that's it for us. And we will see you guys next time on Gun Talk Nation.
Awesome.